Welcome, everybody. Another edition of Stay Tuned El Paso with Priss and Vic. That's Priss.
Hi, guys. I'm Priss.
I'm Vic. And this afternoon, we are talking to legendary artist. Can I call you a legend, bro?
I don't know.
I mean, people know you. In the art world here in town, they know you.
Maybe.
Yeah. Roman Martinez. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, boss.
As we highlight the good and happening things in and around El Paso, and one of the things I want to talk to you about is you and I quickly became friends because of, well, we're geeks, number one. Not nerds. I can't do math. We're geeks instead. But number two, your artwork showcased all across town, really. Mm-hmm. And you were showcasing yourself across town pre-COVID. But there's something about your artwork that is just absolutely outstanding and amazing. And when you see Roman's work, you know it's his. You go, that's a Roman Martinez. Matter of fact, as we'll get into your story, but a friend of mine came by with a Boba Fett. I like Boba Fett, obviously, from Star Wars. And one time said, here, I have some artwork for you, and I want you to see it. And it showed it to me, and I knew right away, that's a Roman Martinez. Are you kidding me? You're like the Bansky of El Paso. Except people know you. People see you, man.
No.
I wish I was Banksy.
Making that money, right?
I know, right?
Right. Tell us a little bit about your history, how you got started with it. Born and raised in and around El Paso, yeah?
No, actually.
No, he's not.
Really?
You're from Dallas, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey.
Wow, Priss did her homework.
I stalked you a little.
I was born in Dallas. I grew up in Houston. I did live. This is actually my 5th time living here in El Paso.
What? Just can't get out.
I know. Yeah,
Wow.
I know. I left and I come back. My 5th time. I'm staying here this time.
It only took 5 times.
Yeah, I've lived all over Texas. I've lived Colorado and I lived in Chiapas, Mexico.
Nice.
That's the only other. If I leave El Paso, that's where
That
I'm
doesn't
going.
ask you because I did see that you lived in somewhere in Mexico, and I wanted to ask you about that because I bet you that kind of place just inspires you.
It really is.
From
it's
within,
amazing.
it's gorgeous, huh?
The people, the culture, the architecture. I lived in San Cristobal de las Casas, which is one of the Pueblos Mágicos. The town has just celebrated its 500th birthday.
So why not to get too personal, but why the moving around? Why going from place to place?
I'm an artist, unstable.
The bohemian lifestyle.
Part of it was my previous job. I was a youth pastor. I used to work for an organization called Young Life. And so I traveled around Colorado for that. The reason I went down to Mexico originally was for that. I was born in Dallas, oil. I moved to Houston there in 80, I believe. And then Austin. And of course here, I went to high school, went to Hanks for a short minute.
Hanks. I'm an Eastwood trooper. That's why I have no choice. It's like a reaction.
Little rivalry.
I know. I get it. I remember when I was there, I was like, everyone bagged on.
I hung out with everyone. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. So,
and the artist lifestyle. Did you feel you were an artist from the beginning? Because I've come to find out that people know early on they are an artist.
Yeah. You know what? I started way early taking art classes, painting as long as I could remember.
Like an elective
drawing.
in high school? Were you taking it during
I took every elective in high school, but not only that, I had my own. Like, I had my own class. First period, I had the sculpture studio to myself. So, like, welding torches. And my principal was like, yeah, go ahead.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was a lot of fun. I was never to school on time that whole semester. And
who was?
I don't think I got a whole lot of work that semester. But still,
you got your inspiration. That's probably what led you to where you are now. If you didn't have that time, you know?
Well, yeah, and then also that I had some amazing art teachers. Ended up going to the Art Institute in Houston, and again some amazing teachers there. And I wanted to go into commercial design. I got my actual degree. It's
I forgot my degree. But
I don't really use it that often.
Yeah.
Sometimes I guess. But afterwards, I was just like, you know what? This is not really for me right now. And so I went to go work for Young Life. And I did that for way too long, I think. Probably about 15 years.
Wow.
And but during the whole time, I was still doing murals. I was painting. And creating, like, all my Christmas gifts for the most part were just something I made for
That's awesome.
family.
That's amazing.
And after a while, before I left my last job, my pastor actually, he was like, you know what? why aren't you painting? Because I had painting all these murals for our church. And I was just like, I don't know. I should. And that's what I did. And since then, it's been nonstop. I actually did short work. I worked for the El Paso scene. R.I.P. But since then, it's just been paintings. And then we've been doing the canvas stuff. I've been traveling doing different art shows.
I love the canvas stuff because again, that is the one thing you see that, and that is yours. Yeah, absolutely. And I guess the ignorant person in me says it's a silk screening, but it's not really silk screening that you're doing. But you have the patterns of things already. Yes. Explain a little bit about how you do this.
I do a lot of stencil work.
Mostly
stencil work.
Okay, cool.
I was obviously a big fan of Banksy, and that was actually one of my inspirations for when I got started was after watching Banksy's Please Exit to the Gift Shop. I couldn't even finish the movie. I was just like, I got to go.
You already knew.
Yeah, I already knew what I was going to do.
Wow.
And I spent like the next month just creating stencils and works of art. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to apply to some of these art shows. I was living in Houston at the time, and I got into the big one down in Houston. It was the Bayou, the Spring Bayou City Art Fest or something like that. It's one of the big ones. And but I got in like late. And I had just moved here, and I was like, I'm going to skip it. And then I was like, all right, but I'm going to do one show. And I ended up doing a show in Austin, and it was a complete disaster.
Man.
What happened? What was
what happened?
What blew up?
I mean, besides not selling anything, I did sell 2 paintings. Both of them, one to my brother. I had to deliver that one.
Woo, thanks, brother.
I know, right? Thanks, Mark. And then another to a friend who lived in Austin. But my tent got destroyed. The big storm blew through. It was horrible. Aww. And I was like, you know what? This isn't my thing.
I was going to say, as an
maybe that's not your
up-and-coming artist, that's got to be a kick in the pants.
It was like, you're not selling anything. You ruin everything. And I was just like, you know what? All right. And so I did a couple murals after that. And then finally, my wife, we were dating at the time, was like, if you're going to do this, let's do it. And so I'm like, all right. And so we did I just got done doing a big mural for the Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid right there on Texas Avenue, that is. And we did a little benefit show to help raise money also for the legal aid. And I did really well. And I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe I can do this.
Sure.
So I went back to that same show in Austin and killed it. It was
blew it away, right? Complete opposite. Yeah. That's awesome.
I had already made back all my money before the show even started. I was setting up. I was selling paintings.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So you already, you not only cashed out, you made a profit.
Exactly.
Which for artists and for anybody in the entertainment business,
that's unheard of. Number one, to make a profit. Yeah.
It only took a year. That's it. I'm just kidding.
And so from there, I just started signing up for more shows, and awesome. I learned which shows worked for me, which shows didn't. And so we've been all the way from like LA, all over, Phoenix, Tucson, Albuquerque, Chicago,
Vegas,
Dallas, Austin, Houston, San Antonio.
And of course, we're talking, in a pre-COVID world, a lot of things changed for you. February, March, April. But were you doing? I can see your stuff at a Comic-Con. I can see you working at different types of events there as well. One of the greatest things, if you've looked over Roman's shoulder here, over our shoulders, is the Star Wars Loteria.
Oh, man.
That is fantastic.
Amazing.
And I'm sure you got plenty of commissions off of that as well. That idea, number one, is
go viral.
That's $1 million idea.
Make money off of that because it needs to go on Amazon now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know he's sold.
Amazon, but anywhere, you guys need to buy this. This is amazing. Oh my goodness.
I know he's sold and needs to sell again too. We'll try to do that for you. But I mean, these are just grand ideas.
Oh, absolutely. Super inspirational and really, really unique.
So here we are now in
El Paso.
As we record, here we are now in this COVID world, and even more so specifically with things changing really day by day. So the obvious question is, how have you done it for the past couple of months? When Priscilla and I talk about artists in El Paso, we like to talk about the musicians, obviously, the comedians, the poetry writers, the people who are writing books and novels and artists and people painting. We have such a talent. It's taken El Paso so long to bubble over with that talent. And I think we finally, and I'm talking about true, real talent,
I agree.
And I think we finally hit that mark, and now all of a sudden
We stopped. We're paused.
it pops. Yeah.
It doesn't mean, but we can't continue to educate the people like right now. As a matter of fact, we're showing everyone hello.
And so how have you
here.
done it these past, and for you especially, who's got to be out there, and I liken you and Priscilla, selling your wares, so to speak, on the streets. But how have you done it when you can't? There's no show.
It's true. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's been rough.
I know.
I've had some commissions that have been, people are like, all right, can you do this for me? And if I'm like, do you still want that? And so I've done some of that. We did, actually, we bought a house right before all this stuff happened.
Yikes.
And it was basically like a 2-level duplex. And so my mother-in-law lives downstairs. We live upstairs. And I've been remodeling, repainting, redoing basically everything.
That's also beautiful and important to do, right? You gotta take care of. You have the time right now because you're kind of forced to do it, right?
Right, and it's been my
Your project.
my creative outlet for that, and so I've just recently started painting again.
Oh, let's say it's starting, huh? It's starting to bubble.
Because I had all these ideas like, okay, I got to get them out.
Starting to come.
And so I just need a creative outlet, and so I've got most of my paintings. They sit in my head for years before they get on canvas.
That's interesting. I've never heard of anyone express it that way. That's really cool for years.
How about doing something, completely different though? You're back into sculpting, back into welding, back into the other art form
It is Christmas
release.
time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like it, but it is.
I've always done a little bit. I mean, like I said, I sculpting. I used to do. I haven't thrown clay in a while, but it is a thing. But yeah, no, there's definitely more. I've kind of got like 2 or 3 different styles of art that are kind of, again, in my head, sitting on the back burner, and I think it's time to
bring them out.
Exactly.
They're ready to be born.
Before we got on the air, before we started talking here and doing the podcast, we were talking about an artist. And again, artist as an all-encapsulating term needs that release. The baker, the cook, the chef needs that release. And if they can't get to that release, they have to do something else.
Drink alcohol. Just kidding.
Yeah, you touched on it earlier. And I imagine
kidding, or am I?
The new house, the building has to be a release for you. Mm-hmm. I mean, doing that other stuff, or do you find that as a release? Is it taking care of that? Is it satisfying that for you right now, or do you still have to get back into the art and selling again?
I definitely miss the shows. I miss going out, interacting with clients, with patrons, and so yeah, I can't wait to get back to that. But working on the house it's rewarding. It's satisfying.
Is it artistic? Are you doing artistic things around the house?
Are you doing like cool little stuff on your own house?
I create my own
that
stains.
So convenient.
So we're redoing all the doors. So I stain like this really nice deep turquoise.
Ooh, that's so
my favorite color.
That's pretty color.
So like, what do you suggest for this? Well, turquoise.
Everything's turquoise.
Goes great with
It'd be like walking into Taco Cabana at your house.
I know, right? I'd be all right with that.
Hungry as we walk in. Let me ask you this: in your opinion, since you've been doing it well enough, you've been to a handful of shows. Will we ever get back to that? Do you think we'll ever get back to the Comic Cons and to the sellings and to the?
Yeah. No, we have to. I mean, we will get there. I think it will be a second. I mean, historically speaking, if you look at like the past pandemic, the Spanish flu.
Took a couple years, right?
It took a while back, but things got back to normal.
Yeah, we were able to go around without masks.
Yeah.
And speaking of masks, I'm sure you can do some custom work for us.
What does he do? Look at this. Look at this.
Viva la
revolución. Star Wars. You can pick them up on I finally launched my website.
Good.
That was the other thing that took forever.
But this one made you do it.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, all right, we got to do something. And so we launched the website,
awesome.
revolucha.net. And so, yeah, the masks are up, the T-shirts, and all the other merch and paintings, prints, and games and whatnot.
What is your feeling about? And I know it's kind of sort of the way that we've had to go. It's gone full circle. You're almost. We've talked about this on previous podcasts before. The artist has to pretty much sell out of the back of his car again. Yeah. We've gone that way. So what do you think of people on eBay or Etsy who are trying to get it going. Really?
Whatever. Yeah, if you can get yourself out there, whatever it takes. I mean,
OnlyFans. Just kidding.
do whatever you can to not have a 9 to 5 and sit behind a desk. No offense, I know
Agree,
y'all.
100%. No,
I
I'm right with you.
Whatever I can do to not have to get a real job, and I say real job as, clock in and
because that's not you.
Being owned by somebody else. I mean, you're not going to get your outlet through that. You're making someone else get his outlet through somewhere else,
exactly.
which is not even real. That's not real, true feeling.
So, I haven't painted murals in a while, so and being outside, that'd be a good time to do it. And
is the art world here? Do you think is it competitive, or are you more helping?
That's a real good question. I'm curious about that.
It's changed since I've been here. I think it's kind of comes and goes, but I think overall the El Paso art community is very supportive, very helping, and just seeing some of the people that when I first got started here in El Paso doing stuff about almost 6 years ago. And seeing some of those people now just really take off and blow up and opening up their own galleries, and getting national recognition. It's great. Super proud of them.
Are they helping others too within the community, within the art community from time to time?
So. Yeah. A lot of them, if they don't have a job, they'll, hey, can you do this? And send the jobs. And I'll get requests. Hey, can you do this painting for me? And I'm like, it's not really my thing. And so I pass that on to somebody else.
That's awesome.
And then of course those guys that are, have their own studios, their own galleries, their own shops, and helping set up shows for other artists and giving them an outlet and letting them shine has been super helpful.
Let's be 100% positive here and say within the next soon time frame, within the next couple of months, things are back to quote unquote normal, or there's the new normal, whatever we can be. What is it you see? What is it you would like to see in the art community here in El Paso from the art community? What are some of the changes? What are some of the positive things that you'd like to come out of?
That is a great question. You know what? I'd like to see some, we have one national big art show with Las Artistas, which unfortunately was just canceled. I'd love to see another one. I'd like to see more big, art shows. And we've had a few in the past. Some of them sporadic, but it'd be nice to see some more and some of the other big local artists, help promote some of those. And we've got some guys that got really big names internationally and have moved back. So
that'd be really awesome.
Yeah.
Like a comeback show.
Absolute. I look forward to the times that I can, if anything, see you at Chalk the Block. See you at these events that were so great that you knew you could walk by. And not just you, obviously, some of the other great artists out there. There's so many out there here in town. And I love the fact that you could set up, this display is minimal of what it is that you do. You also did the, which were always a whole lot of fun. You team up with certain bars in and around the city doing your lottery nights, your loteria nights. And those were always great.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Alamo Draft House, we're still, unless we get shut down, we're still doing those. We're socially distancing, so we only can have a capacity of about 50% in there. They're not going as long as we're done at 9 as of now.
We have time. We have time to explain what the loteria nights were because they were great.
Yeah, we have a bar version of the Star Wars Loteria, and I host it. And and
you're sitting there playing loteria.
We're having drinks and
some food.
Imagine how this escalates.
Random Star Wars trivia, and prizes, and I still do small little setup, and people can buy some original.
See, and on that note, I hope everybody takes this time to really appreciate what they had been missing and prior because they didn't want to go out. I'm too lazy. Now everyone's like, I wish I would have gone that one time.
Yeah.
I hope everyone now at this point starts to oh my gosh, Chalk the Block. I'm not missing that this time. Or you know what? The next art show. I hope this brings out people to come out and support even more. I really do.
No, absolutely. And those were the events that, and again, I think we did take for granted sometimes. You're walking,
I agree.
we're just looking for the guy who's selling corn selling for corn in the cup. Now we're looking for that guy, but we'd pass the dude selling his artwork.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. So now, I mean, keep on going to the corn in the cup. Yes. But, you know, save some money for the Loteria Star Wars. Come on. This thing is amazing.
You're all over the social media sites, and you were doing the live videos and stuff on Instagram, and I thought those were great, where you were going behind the scenes and showing how you actually did a lot of your artwork and stuff, because you can sit here and look at these things, and Jennifer, our intern who was walking around, the minute you set up the prints, freaked out. She's like, oh my God. I think you need to do more of that. I think you need to do more of the behind the scenes and see how things are made. And,
people really love to see that.
Yeah.
I know, and it's one of my things. I'm also one of those weird artists, like, I don't want to show you till I'm done. And
little teaser, if you will.
And then there's sometimes my wife's actually really good about getting those videos and getting those photos
That's
of
so
me working.
cool. Because that way it's not like fake, because you're not doing
Right.
it.
I don't think about it. That's
How supportive, I know the answer to this already, but how supportive has she been? She has to be.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
She was like,
she
either
was the
do
reason
this
I
or
started
not.
getting into the shows.
That's amazing.
She's managed the website. She manages the shows. She keeps you on top of the deadlines.
She's
Bravo
driving
to
you
her.
from place to place.
Yeah, she definitely gives ideas. I do the driving, but
Well, she's with you in the car. I've called you a couple of
He
times.
does the driving, guys.
She's been on the road trips with you. She's the co-pilot.
She lets me drive. So, and that's just good.
I love how he changed it. She lets me drive.
She lets me drive. Yeah. She's like, no, you do it. No. So,
That's awesome.
if I wasn't an artist, I might be a long haul trucker.
Probably, right? That's all you know, from city to city.
Yeah, just drive it around.
Just driving around.
Load up the tunes and the movies, and you're good to go, brother. I hope eventually we can get to these points in time again where we did see you on the streets, and I know we still can. I know you're still slinging your wares, if you will. Again, you got the website up and running. What's the website?
Revolucha.net.
We'll go ahead and post that also in the comments and everything. Social media sites.
It's they're all Roman Martinez art design.
There you go. And friends of friends, I guarantee if you have a friend on a social media site, they have a friend who's friends with him, and just add Roman in. He's got some great stuff. And he's a big geek also. Loves the Star Wars stuff. Loves Star Wars, Star Trek.
Oh, definitely Star Wars. I love
There you
Star
go.
Trek, but definitely Star Wars.
Yeah, I appreciate Star Trek. I love Star Wars. This is where we lose Priscilla.
I'm just
She
like
falls.
I'm like, they're both cool.
She falls right
I
off.
did.
I
Bernard.
like sci-fi, fantasy. I'm in all of it.
And a lot of that, obviously, as we've talked about,
inspires you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because you have to go to another world sometimes to get inspired.
Right.
music-wise, also some of his great stuff. You've got the great Johnny Cash mashup paintings as well that I've seen. I love that
I do
stuff.
a lot of for me, it's a lot of my inspiration comes from heroes, and whether it's from movies, from books, from music, or just historical figures. I draw my inspiration from a lot of places.
We appreciate you coming out this afternoon to spend time with us. And of course, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I hope that you continue to find more success and bigger successes, because
Continue to be inspired
Yeah.
by weird things and cool things. And I want a painting from you from 7 years ago. Can you go back 7 years in your brain? Something that you thought about 7 years ago.
Probably.
he was just
And
gonna.
I swear I mean it.
He was just going to go to his basement and pull out something.
No.
That's 7 years old. She can have that.
His basement, exactly. He's got files in there.
As we start to wrap up here, stay tuned, El Paso. Priss has a question that she likes to ask all of our guests.
All of our guests. And I think I have a good feeling about this answer.
Yeah, I think
How
so
do you
too.
feel about joint Facebook accounts? See, I knew it, because you could tell right away that because most of the time it's a no.
I mean, honestly, most of my social media is all done by my wife anyway. So
Exactly. So that's what I mean. So
And
it's pretty much.
and it's about the art.
And
It's
that's
about-
awesome.
yeah,
No,
it's
that's
about the art.
even better. I love it. I think it's awesome.
majority of my posts are her.
Absolute.
I'll her.
Absolute. Appreciate you coming on down, my
you
man.
so
Spend some
much.
time with
Yes.
us. Thanks
Thank you
to
very much.
Ace, our super producer this afternoon, for hanging out with us, taking the pictures behind the scenes and doing all the good stuff. Also to Jennifer, our intern, the downtown spaces that Herald posts, and our musical coordinator, David Hollywood Madrid. Had to throw them in there as well. Had to throw him in. Thank you guys for checking us out this afternoon, or whenever it is you're watching. It's Stay Tuned El Paso with Priss and Vic. Priss and Vic will be back with another edition coming up very, very soon next week. Stick around. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Brother Roman.
Thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Ciao.
Hey, it's Stay Tuned El Paso with Priss and Vic.
I'm Priss.
I'm Vic. You know the best way to connect with us? Follow along on all of our social media websites.
And if you have a guest that you want us to interview, please, by all means, let us know.
Like and subscribe to all of our websites. We'll be checking it very, very often right here. Stay tuned, El Paso.